Hello, media friends. Welcome to the media briefing on HKRITA and H&M Foundation forward-looking collaboration announcement today. Riding on the very successful partnership of the past 4 years, HKRITA and H&M Foundation are going to announce a new 5-year collaboration plan under the theme of Planet First to further drive the sustainable development of the textile and fashion industry. Today, we are pleased to have the representative of HKRITA and H&M Foundation with us, including Mr. Edwin Kay, Chief Executive Officer of HKRITA, Mr. Eric Bank, Innovation Lead, H&M Foundation. During the event, please feel free to leave your question anytime in the Q&A icon on the bottom right corner of your screen. We'll try our best to answer as many questions as we can at the Q&A section later on. Without further ado, may I now invite Edwin and Eric to share with us the directions, strategies, and goals of the upcoming 5-year collaboration, as well as comments of the successful partnership of the past 4 years. Edwin and Eric, please.
Well, thank you, Edward. It's my pleasure to be here, and what an exciting 4 years it's been for us in our collaboration with the H&M Foundation. Our collaboration started in 2016, and to date we have completed about 11 projects out of this series of collaboration, with 4 projects that are still ongoing. These have resulted in approximately 24 IPs that have been generated from these projects. And I'm also happy to say that as a result of talking about these projects, they have won a combination of 10 total global invention awards for various parts of our project. The last 4 years of collaboration has been characterized by our desire to scale up very quickly and go to industrial trial and develop real-world applications with this collaboration. Some of the success you saw in the video as part of our opening includes the garment-to-garment system. The first G2G shop has been operating in Hong Kong for a while now, and the second shop opened up 2 months ago in Stockholm. The green machine, or the hydrothermal system, have been operating in Hong Kong at 150 kilos capacity a day. And in about a month, the second scaled-up industrial scale system will be operational, and that will be about 1.5 tons of daily output. And then also from the hydrothermal system, we've been harvesting these recycled cellulose particles, which we have put to multiple applications, one of which is this super absorbent polymer, which we have been using to create new fibers, new fabrics. And we've also been using them as in part of a agricultural research to develop self-irrigating or irrigation-free cotton, and we're happy to have some very exciting early results from that, and we will continue to use that to create these types of agricultural materials as well as new types of high-performance synthetic material. The excitement for the last 4 years is not only with the experiment and the experimental outputs, but also with the whole disruption of the research methodology and the whole structure of the research model itself. We've been emphasizing speed and scaling things up as quickly as possible, and this was possible through this great partnership and trust that we've developed with the foundation, and I'm happy that we are going to continue that with the next 5 years of collaboration. Eric?
Thank you, Edwin, and great to be here, or in the screen at least. Very excited to announce a new partnership today, and looking back to 2016, very much as you described, it's been quite a journey for us, and we were both new to this area of circularity back then. The foundation were fairly newly founded in 2013, and we started addressing the environmental pain points of the fashion industry just 1 year earlier in 2015. So in 2016, we knew that we wanted to solve one goal in particular, and that was the recycling of textile blends. A huge issue for the industry, and that seemed like a great focus for us. And I often get the question, why HKRITA? Why did you partner with them, and why do you choose to partner with them for another 5 years? And you touched on a couple of things that makes you quite unique, and it's your HKRITA's focus on working across different scientific disciplines. You're not limited to one area, and you also have your eyes always on commercialization and adopting and developing real-world solutions, which suits us perfectly. We are equally, I think, to the next point here is the very similar mindset of our two different organizations. We're both very impatient, and we're not afraid to take risks. In fact, we both see that as our roles in the industry, a research institute and a non-profit foundation, that is how we can add value to all the other efforts going on in this industry, both in supply chain and among brands. And there have been many occasions, Edwin, where we decided to go ahead with difficult decisions, facing great uncertainties and big risks, and actually half-jokingly saying that if we fail, we're probably risking our own jobs too in the process. But it has really generated some incredible results. And I want to take this opportunity to also thank you, Edwin, and the entire HKRITA team for your very hard work, perseverance, and courage throughout these first 4 years. And of course, also our Japanese friends, Professor Kajiwara and Suzuka, for their work on the hydrothermal, the green machine. What you have done in these years led us to the point here today where we are announcing Planet First, which will be the largest, at least to our knowledge, the largest program in the industry. We are talking about a full $100 million to develop solutions and address systemic pain points for the fashion industry.
Thank you very
Edwin, back
much.
to you. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Edwin and Eric. Building on the comprehensive effort and the ongoing achievement of the first partnership, the upcoming collaboration aims to further develop scalable planet-positive technologies for the industry with concrete applications. May I invite Edwin to share with us some of the latest sustainable technology breakthroughs under the theme of Planet First. Edwin, please.
Thank you. And you know, when we first started down this road in 2016, the idea of climate change and the inflection point of climate change was so far away, but that has gone from being a long-term challenge to now a medium-term challenge, and it is an existential threat to all of us. And so the whole theme of the Planet First series of research is to not only do less bad things, if you will, create problems, but also to look at some very positive and concrete opportunities for this industry to be carbon neutral, to deal with the waste we discharge, and then to actually engage business in a way which is positive for the planet. So some examples of things that we're looking at would be things like this, new types of cellulose source from things like macroalgae, and using these and perhaps other types of cellulose sources for as a replacement for some of the more energy intensive materials that we are using, and also as a way to clean up some of and use this as a way to clean up some of the wastewater that the industry has been creating. Continuing from our first 4 years of collaboration, we are also using recycled content to make new types of cellulose. For instance, I have here a new type of viscose, which is made from 80% post-consumer recycled material. 50% of this material is actually harvested from the green machine. So these types of high recycled content, high performance materials will be things that we continue to pursue. I've mentioned already that the green machine is scaling up to 1.5 tons, and we will continue to scale that up and create real business solutions. The output for the green machine, for example, is at no price premium to a virgin comparable and performs as well as virgin comparable. So it solves not only a science problem but also a business case problem. Finally, we're very excited to be developing new types of materials and new types of solutions. This T-shirt, for instance, is made from a material that we've developed which absorbs carbon dioxide in use. This T-shirt is about 1/3 of a tree equivalent in its absorption of carbon dioxide every day in use. And we see this not only as a way to get our industry to be carbon neutral, but to move towards carbon negative. Ongoing research will include more work with our superabsorbent material, our research around biological solutions to recycling and to the separation of material and the creation of new material. Speed and impact and scale will continue to be the hallmark of everything that we do in the next 5 years. Another hallmark of what we do with the foundation is that all the IPs will remain with HKRITA, and these will be open and available to all collaborators as we create this open platform to solve one of these the big challenges for our industry and for our world. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin. Hong Kong RITA and H&M Foundation are going to commence an environmental impact assessment of the hydrothermal separation treatment, which is one of the successful technologies developed over the first partnership. In addition, a joint lab initiative will also be launched. May I invite Eric to share with us more background and objectives about those? Eric, please.
Thank you, Edward. Yes, taking a few steps back to begin with, looking at not only our partnership has developed in the last 4 years, but so has the industry. Incredible progress has been made. Awareness has increased, lots of commitments has been made, and most importantly also a lot of actions has been taken. But our point of view is that we can't settle here. Although circularity is becoming more and more integrated into the conversation and the future plans of the industry, we will need to do more than to just circulate. As global population and middle class will continue to grow, so will the pressure on Earth's limited resources and fragile ecosystems and climate. So in addition to circulate, we will also need to regenerate. And here I will spend a few minutes on explaining what we mean by planet first. So we will need to regenerate our resources so that we essentially, you can think of it as for every product that we make and enjoy, we actually leave the world a little bit better behind instead of consuming its resources. Instead of consuming, we regenerate natural resources and our shared global commons. And it's this long-term, very visionary idea of having a positive impact that is really the only resilient insurance we can have against the really inescapable consequences of climate change and biodiversity loss. And for us in this context, it means that we will do more than just research on recycling. As Edwin pointed out in his very exciting examples, we will also research regenerative farming. We will do water treatment, production processes, sequestering of carbon, and other pain points across the entire value chain. And in addition to this, we will also try and address some structural pain points of the industry. This is something that we have experienced in our work with HKRITA, but also in the Foundation's work through Global Change Awards supporting early stage ventures from around the world, is that access to industry and access to equipment to try, test, and pilot cool ideas and really promising ideas is holding change back. That access takes a lot of time to overcome. It takes a lot of time to build that network and build that access to equipment. So since we're so well funded with Planet First, in addition to research, we will also build what we call a joint lab. And this is really, to Edwin's point, a collaborative space. It's a physical space where we will provide equipment and essentially a whole set of a miniature factory where innovators and startups, as well as our own technologies, can come in and try and demonstrate how they operate in a real environment. We will also invite industry, making sure that we don't only have supply of innovation in this space, but also the demand for innovation through suppliers and brands that are open and willing to partner. And this will be a great ground for them to scout new solutions and try them out, and that way we can speed up this transformation. So this will be a whole new approach to addressing the pain points of the industry. And this is very much building on collaboration. We might be named H&M Foundation, but everything we do here is for the industry. We will not own the IP, but all the IP of the research previously and in the future will belong to HKRITA. That way we believe is the best way to maximize the impact and adoption. Because developing solutions is really only getting us halfway. the second half is to have those solutions adopted and implemented in the real world in the industry. And again, this announcement is, how we see it, much more than just an extension of an existing partnership. With Planet First, we're raising the scope, we're raising the bar and the expectations on ourselves, but also on the industry, that we need to regenerate and leave the world better off once we've done what we're doing in our industry. We need to have water exiting factories that are cleaner than the water coming in. And how visionary isn't it with a garment that actually absorbs CO2? And to why you might wonder why I'm wearing a t-shirt, and this is actually the Daiwabo t-shirt that's made from recycled cotton from the Green Machine. So I'm very happy to wear it, and it feels great. And part of, in addition to speed, scale, and impact, for us it's really important to continue to work with transparency, to be transparent and share our progress and share also our failures. And at every step of our work, collaborate with the industry, both supply chain and brands. That way we ensure that we are developing solutions that matter and address real issues, and this doesn't end up as a scientific exercise, but as developing real solutions. We're also striving to make sure that we address the big problems of the industry. This way we ensure that we actually make a difference. And we can only rely on our own intuition, but to Edward's, just his introduction here is that we also are going to assess the impact from our solutions. We're going to assess the real impact they are making, and we're going to share this data. And we actually started that work already with the Green Machine and going to share that early next year. And lastly, again, this is for the industry. We will share the IP and we will make this available for anyone. That, again, the availability is what will set this collaboration apart. And I'm very confident that we will continue to produce exciting developments that are relevant and matter to the industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Now I'd like to open the floor to media questions on Hong Kong RITA's new 5-year collaboration with H&M Foundation. Media friends, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A icon on the bottom right corner of your screen. We'll try our best to answer as many questions as we can in this Q&A section. Otherwise, we will get back to you with our reply by email after the event in case we can't address your question here. While we are still waiting for some question coming in, I have a couple of questions for Edwin and Eric. Well, I know that Monkey has recently announced its first collection using textile materials developed by the Green Machine. Can you share more with us why Monkey is interested in doing that?
Yes, that's a great example of scaling that we're doing with our projects. Monkey saw this great opportunity to use a recycled content product that does not compromise on quality or comfort from the user point of view, but has a great story behind it. And so they jumped on this opportunity as soon as they heard about it from us. This is not exclusive to Monkey. It is open to all other brands who may be interested in improving and increasing their sustainability and their recycled content and products. Eric?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what's really fascinating here is that we're talking about polyester and recycled polyester at competitive price level to virgin. That is, it's very technical, but it's quite remarkable actually. If you look at because polyester is so cheap, it's really difficult to come up with a viable solution to virgin, right, or a viable alternative. But maybe I also like, if I have the opportunity, Edward, before questions come in, also to maybe summarize a little bit of the bigger picture here is that it's now 2020 and we're entering what's probably the most decisive decade of humanity. And in the work for us leading up to designing Planet First program, we spoke to a lot of external experts and people that could guide us on what to do and what are really the things that we could do to make a difference. And one of them was Professor Johan Rockström, And he said, it's now that the future of mankind is decided. And the point here is that this is on us. It's less than 10 years to 2030 and the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and also the climate deadline. And it's 14 years since Al Gore released Inconvenient Truth. And we really can't kick this can down the road any further. It's not a long-term problem, but a near-term crisis that we're talking about. And we must also remember, I think, that the change is imminent and inevitable. So whether or not we like it or not, or decide to do anything about it or not, the world as we know it will change. And I think it's fair to say that, and this is something Edwin brought up in a seminar a couple of weeks ago, that the change we're about to see from climate change will have 9 months of COVID fade into a walk in the park. But at the same time, both Foundation, H&M Foundation and HKRITA see this urgency as the greatest opportunity to make an impact and make a difference and have the industry changed. Because there is also an inspiring momentum going on in the industry. We should really remember that. And if we can help this momentum to grow even further and stronger, that would be an incredible accomplishment, we think. And addressing both technical and structural pain points will help do that, we think. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Eric. Gentlemen, we have some questions from the media here. Maybe I read it out. 2 questions from Hong Kong Economic Times from Koi. She would like to ask, when will be the new laboratory ready for open, and where is the lab, and how much it costs?
Great question. I wish I have all the answers. The joint lab will be in Hong Kong. It is right now our first step towards getting the joint lab off the ground is to get as many founding members and collaborators together so that we can do the design work of the lab as well, and then we can also move some of our existing equipment into the lab and build new equipment for people to experiment on in the lab, and then more importantly to work on the research agenda, on the communication content and all the opportunities for trial and experience in the lab. So it is a work in progress, I would say. Eric?
Yeah, I think to your point, Edwin, we are sharing progress as we make it and decisions as we take them, and that means that we don't always have all the answers at the very beginning, but we do have an exciting plan, and we do have very promising conversations with the landowners in Hong Kong to set this up, and I'm quite confident that we will be able to share something really tangible early next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to add that the intention of why we're building this in Hong Kong too is that we want to solve challenges up and down the supply chain, that there may be manufacturing challenges and opportunities as well as retail and distribution opportunities, and Hong Kong is the ideal place because we sit on everybody's global supply chain, and so by putting it in Hong Kong we can look at all these challenges and see how we can create some new solutions and add value.
Yeah.
Thank
Hong Kong really stands out in the global map of fashion industry with both ends of the industry in one city. That's quite unusual.
Thank you both. There is another question asking about during this struggling retail, under these unprecedented times amid the struggling retail industry, how does the technology help fashion brands survive? Maybe Eric, you can address that and see whether Edwin has any supplementary points.
Yeah, I think regardless of which type of retailer, digital or physical, you need to address these challenges that the industry is facing. And our job here is not to make idealistic solutions that are not applicable or relevant to the industry or the real world, but to make them commercially relevant as well. That means that you will be able to offer your customers a better product, a better valued product, and also addressing the risk that you have in your own operations. So by adopting sustainable practices, you will lower your own operational risk. So there are many aspects to why this matters, and will matter even more, we think, looking ahead.
Right, yeah. Well, one of the opportunities of working in HKRITA is that we get to talk with a lot of stakeholders and practitioners in this industry. And universally, we hear that there is significant consumer demand for sustainability. And so as we come out of this pandemic, consumers are looking for reasons to buy. And one of them is that they want to use sustainable products because they want to participate in solving this huge global problems that exist for our industry and for our world. And so one of the big reasons to think about sustainability, circularity, and climate change in the midst of the pandemic is that we want to be relevant to consumers. We want to be relevant to what people are concerned about in the world today. And the brands that will win out of this pandemic are the brands that proceed with purpose and proceed with these aspirations.
Thank you. Edwin actually mentioned several latest technology breakthroughs earlier. Can you tell us more about the next steps or upcoming roadmaps for the application and commercialization of these technologies, and any specific timelines, please?
Well, everything that we talked about, we want to get into the market as quickly as possible. The T-shirt that Eric is wearing, the T-shirt that I showed earlier, the carbon dioxide absorbing T-shirts are all scheduled to be in the market by 2021. Some of the more early stage research around macroalgae and new types of cellulose sources will probably take a little bit longer, and that's why we have a 5-year commitment, because we know that whereas there are some solutions that are ready for market, there are others that will need a little bit more work, not only for the science but also for the business case behind it. Some of the solutions we're looking at, for instance, the SAP material for agricultural use, those are being scaled up even as we speak. So Eric mentioned it already, that speed, impact, and scale are going to be the hallmark of our work together, and our intention is to get these things into the marketplace and make these things as useful products as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and this is really a quite unconventional partnership. I think we're operating much more like a startup than a research platform in that sense, because what we're talking about here is iterations of a product. We will also continue to iterate and improve the solution or the technology over the years as well. So same with the green machine that we announced with Monkey in the first product, and that will be a continued work in progress. It's not a set solution on that day. It's a work in progress and continued work, and that's also an exciting part of this. I think that what you see now will get better as well.
Right.
Okay, we have a couple of minutes left. Maybe can Edwin or Eric to wrap up with a brief summary of what we have gone through today, so that everybody can get hold of it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in, everybody. We at HKRITA feel the awesome responsibility with this new series of research on Planet First, not only because of its importance to the industry and to our world, but also the awesome responsibility that the foundation has laid on us to manage the IPs that come out as a result of this, and to ensure that there is open collaboration and wide accessibility to the outcome, so that these things can be useful and impactful as quickly as possible. We aim to solve not only the science problem but the business problem, and we understand that these are quite aspirational goals that we're talking about this afternoon. But we want to use this time and the resources that we have in front of us so that we can make an impact we can scale as quickly as possible, and that paramount to all this, that we see the crisis as it is coming towards us, so we want to get the work done as quickly as possible. Eric?
Thank you, Edwin. Yes, underlining that the 2030 goals and expectations are on us, not just Edwin and myself and our respective organizations, but also on fellow journalists and citizens in the call. This is on our generation. And change is imminent and inevitable. And we think this, what might feel as depressing to a lot of people, and it can be depressing, it's actually, we see it as the greatest opportunity. It's still an opportunity, and we're so looking forward to address this. But we can't do this on our own. This will also rely on collaboration with the industry. And this is truly for the industry. I want to emphasize that. And what we're able to do, just collaborating with the Hong Kong Innovation and Technology Fund in terms of funding this partnership, is a great example of what can be done. So this is really also serves as an open invitation to the industry to come and join forces with us, be it with the joint lab, or helping us scale one of these solutions or develop other solutions to challenges they are facing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's encouraging to have this discussion today. And let's work together to move towards a planet positive future. Media friends, maybe you don't have any questions for the moment, but just in case if you have any further questions, please feel free to email us. We'll definitely follow up that with you. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Edwin. Thanks, Eric. Everybody have a great day. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.